Hey there, welcome back. So today working on Curse of Strahd and prepping for that within Foundry. Oh, so primary monitor, there we go. So today we're using Ivan Duchess playlist, going through the Vampires playlist to see how that turns out. It's a free module on Foundry VTT. Definitely take a look. So far I've been very impressed with all of his music and I am planning on signing up as a Patreon. So if you get a chance, go check him out, support him. Now another new thing that I'm going to be working with is different maps. As you can tell, this is obviously not the stock map that comes with the Curse of Strahd campaign. Instead, this is a map from DM Andy, and so that is what I'm going to be using today. So, let's see here. Trying to figure out where to go from here, because I've got quite a few maps that I need to work on. Right now I've been working on Chapter 2, and mostly just getting maps for all over the place. So I've got the west gate of Barovia, really could be the east as well, but I've got one that's set up as the east, and more so that I know which side the gate is on. The Misty Forest Road, got two of those set up, it's just rotated. Initially how DM Andy has it is with a vertical alignment. I'll probably add Forest Roads 3 and 4 to this, that way I do have those vertical alignments as well. But as you can see, doing some walling. It looks like I completed this one, and you can see that I did a few things with my walls. So I'm going to turn that on so we can see what we got. I'm just going to add a creature, and let's drop down a baboon. They have no vision. That's lovely. Dragons have vision. There we go. So they can mostly see through most of these walls, and that is because of how I have them set up. I have it so that the walls are left only, and so that because of the environmental limited vision and limited light, shadows are created. Let's unpause this. Come on, let's move. And then for the trees, I have it so they can move under them. So that's where we're at with that. Now, of course, once you get to the ledges, they can't go up it. So, perfect. Let's go ahead and reset the lighting. And let's head over to Second Road, where I do not have any walling done. So, I have a few modules that help with the walling. DF curvy walls and Monk's wall enhancements. Love using both of these. Sometimes they do cause some complications, but we'll play with that as we go. So, let's go ahead. Terrain walls. This is where I always start out with the terrain walls, especially when I know I'm going to have it so that actors can move through them. So I will go ahead and make my circle, but to reduce the number of walls, I usually go down to 8. 6 kind of gives it too much of a pointed shape, in my opinion, but 8 is a good number. Now, if I knew that all the trees were the same size, I would go ahead and do copy paste. but since they are not the same sizes, kind of makes it awkward to have them all be copy pasted. And besides, this is pretty quick as is, so it doesn't need too much. Now, I do have a Curse of Strahd campaign opening up January 3rd of 2023, pay to play, $15 a session, and still have some openings. If you would like to know more information about it, feel free to hit me up in the chat. I do have um, an application form, pretty quick and straightforward, just getting to know how you play and stuff like that, just to make sure you're a good fit for the group. And right now, there really isn't much of a group, so pretty easy to fit in. You'll notice that when I have an item that goes off the map, I usually try to make it so that the ending points for a wall end on the edge, or yeah, I try to have them end on the edge, and that reason for that is because then when I go back through later and I delete these points, I don't have extra wall hanging over. Again, it doesn't really affect the player so much as it does just give it a cleaner look. The reason I don't want to go short is because then you have gaps. So this one, I'll just go right there. Alright. Ooh, is it? Ooh, it stopped playing the playlist. Interesting. So we noticed this the other day. It looks like it's just this track is not gonna play. So, go ahead and hop over to a different playlist, shall we? Let's head over to Dark Fantasy. Same module, still by Ivan Dutch. If we notice the volume is loud, this is part of what I'm trying to do, and that is correct the volume as we go. So, let's see what else we've got. Walling is kind of boring, so I'm trying to get through it quickly and not let it take too much time, because this is a prep, and unfortunately prep does mean getting stuff like this laid out and done. Now, I also have another campaign, the White Queen. I am recording or doing prep sessions for that as well, Thursdays and on, I believe it's Wednesdays as well. Let me go ahead and double check that for y'all. Let's see here.
Singing.
Alright. There we go. So, there's all my trees. I'm going to go ahead and select all of them. And double click here. Movement restriction, none. Light limit restriction, limited. Sight, sound, wall direction, left. And update. There we go. Ooh, do I not have that setting set up for some reason? Game settings, core settings. Left click to release. Huh, interesting that that's not working. So, now one of my other favorite tools in here is the freehand wall drawing. and select your wall type. Can't do much if you don't have the right wall type. There we go. And there. Oh, here we are. One last one. Alright. Now let's grab all the overhang. Just delete it. Now one module that would be really awesome and useful would be if I could just copy these walls and rotate them. That would be so helpful. Because then I wouldn't have to recreate like this whole map. I would just be able to rotate it from the last one and paste it here. So helpful. But I'm not a coder or programmer, and that sounds like it would be a little challenging. Alright, with all that walling done for this map, I think we're good there. Westgate, you are not walled. I don't think the East Gate is either, to be honest. Oh, East Gate is. See, this would be nice. Just copy all this, take it over to the West Gate, paste it, rotate it, you're done. Now, how many people do that? Do enough maps where they have to copy paste? I don't think there's too many. So, let's see here. So, right now we have Curse of Strahd on Tuesdays and Sundays, and then we have the White Queen on Thursdays. So, alright. Westgate. Let's see. Oh, what did I do on the Eastgate? Did I do a full wall? I did do a full wall. I'm going to go ahead and do another full wall. I want the halfway on that, and I'll just do the same here. And then let's go ahead and get the trees going yet again. Again, going back down to 8. One more click. Here we go. And that's the problem with putting this wall up so early, is that now, when I do my Control All, it will pick that wall up as well and try to change it to the same type. So I will just have to click it out. So let's see here. Wednesday, I ran a one-shot on a server called Adventure on Discord, where we run short, quick adventures, 2 to 3 sessions, or typically one-shots, though they can also go 2 to 3 adventure or sessions. There are also seasons where they do short campaigns. Currently, there is a homebrew season going on, season 1, where they are running a campaign called Mush Apocalypse. You can find Adventure on YouTube, TikTok, and on Facebook and Discord. There is the free-to-play side of it, and as well as the premium side. So, I am one of the admins there, and I'm happy to help out with new players, people asking questions, and all sorts. So yeah, White Queen starts on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and will be a homebrew campaign in my own uh, banished world. So the White Queen is a more lighthearted adventure campaign. Expected levels is 1 to 20. It is going to be a lot more lighthearted than campaigns such as Curse of Strahd, but it's still going to have its dark moments as well as a lot of exploration and mystery to it. So the White Queen is a $30 pay-to-play campaign, um, levels 1 to 20, starting Thursday, January 5th, 2023, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is going to be a very interesting campaign. The White Queen is definitely about the politics of the Silkmoor Kingdom, where the goal is for the players to work their way up towards kingdom heroes and possibly deal with some other issues. Depends on the player choices and how those play out. I am definitely an advocate for player choices matter. I definitely do not approve of the DM versus player mentality. It is, in my opinion, toxic and unhelpful. Alright, now to trim down these excess walls, we'll see what we got. Alright, here we go. Looks good. Now to throw down the drawn walls for the ledges, and we should be good. Alright. I love having these little corners here because then it makes it so that players cannot see what's around the corner. So you can have some sort of enemy just waiting behind it. Now, I don't run a fully video game-like battle map. I still like having control over the environment, and so I don't have it so that everything's automated. Some things I do like having automated, such as spell attacks and attacks, and other magical features. Those are amazing to have automated. They look very cool. in my opinion. Alright, there we go. Not seeing anything else that really needs dealt with on this one. Alright, so let's go ahead, and this is the west gate. We're going to configure it because I want to grab a different color. Let's go right there. Not quite what I'm after. So, configure. We'll copy the east gate. Just use what they got. Save changes. For some reason, this one wasn't taken to it. It's interesting that the background color is not taking to the background. Let's just do something extreme. Alright. Okay, never mind. Apparently it is. It's just not very noticeable. Let's grab a greenish font. Nope. Here we go. Let's just do that. Copy, save changes, west, configure, paste, save changes. There we go. So now the east and the west look very similar, and they're both done. The Misty Forest roads, both done. Very nice. Now, most for the Misty roads, they're going to be random encounters, and I can just make another folder, random encounter. So let's go ahead and drop these in, and there we go. So it can't pop out because I have it running on the actual Foundry app, not on a web-based server. So, alright. Let's go ahead and start a new scene, shall we? This new scene. Let's see here. Curse of Strahd. I want to go ahead and keep with the open world of Barovia. Ooh. We have some pretty interesting ones. Oh, ooh. Here we go. Sphalic Road. Again, this will make for another great random encounter map. And so what I'm also doing right now is I'm making 2 more copies of the, oh, nope, not that one, of the Misty Forest road. The reason why is because I want to rotate them so that I have the same map in 4 different orientations. Does it really make a different map? No. But it gives it enough variety that on initial sight, it's not the same. And that's why I want to give the players is a different look. So, Sphalic Road. I'm actually going to be doing the same thing with it. Looks like I already did. Perfect. So, background. We're going to go. I like to keep all my content in the same place, so it's all in the world folder under the world title. So, Count Strahd, COS, scenes. They're all by DM Andy, so that's where I have them all. Now, random encounters is where I have them just because it's just so open. And we'll start with the Sphalic Road as is. Again, all these maps are made by DM Andy, and I can't say enough that he's got amazing art. He's a very talented artist. Uh, go check him out. And oh, hello, inflatable cat. So DM Andy, great art. Let's see here. Where did that go? There we go. Ooh, this is going to be a fun one. Let's go ahead. There's a lot of things I like to do for getting this configured. One of which is the background color. Let's go ahead and try it for this grayish blue. Ooh, that is perfect. Now, grid-wise, and this is one thing I love about how DM Andy sets up his maps, is he tells you what the dimensions are right off. And so he tells me that it's a 40 by 30 grid, so I know to set it for 4,000 by 3,000 with a grid scale of 100 for the pixels count. So we're going to save all that changed. Perfect. Now if I zoom in, oh, well, this is a gridless map, so it doesn't tell me anyways. But here we go. We're going to configure the scene a little bit more, because what I like to do is set it up so that it always fits very nice and center when you first come into the scene, just like this. I find that most of the maps actually do really well with a vertical fit. And so we're going to go there, save changes. And I know I keep going back and forth, but it's because I've gotten hiccups where if I don't do it so often, it'll forget some settings, and then I'll have to do it again. So I'd rather just do it painfully slow, like this. And there we go. Beautiful map. I just need to do my walling now. Quick, easy, not too painful. Just very tedious and boring. So we're going to go with a Sphalic Road 2. And then we're going to go ahead, and these will end up in the random encounter map or page. Sphalic Road copy. Save changes. Yep. And if I haven't already, I'm going to make the other two. So one rotate that way, one rotate the other way. This gives me 4 maps for the Sphalic Road. Sphalic Road. 3. very beautiful maps. But first off, let's go ahead, configure, copy that. Configure, and configure. There we are. Just get them all at once. Now this one is going to have the same parameters. Because it's just flipped. This one is going to be a little different because I do have to check on some things. Because it is a more vertical map, it definitely needs the vertical fit. Save changes. Save changes. And didn't make any changes here, so we're good there. Let's see how house 2 is looking. Alright. Because I don't have lock view set for it right now, but let's see here. Save that. Configure. You see the grid stayed good, so that's happy. No changes there, so that's working perfect. Alright, let's take a look at Road 3. See, it is a little different because now it's quite tall and skinny, which is fine. So, configuration, we're going to go in. There we go, save that. And I can save that configuration to this one as well. Here we go. Grid. Just change it over. And there we go. Grid. And then figure. Don't need the lock view, but I want it to start with the vertical fit. See, there we go. Then I can still move around, zoom in, zoom out. So it's not an issue. It's when you set it to lock the pan and zooming. So one thing different about this map is that there is a light post in the middle of it. Now, typically I won't use a light, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it up. Hey, that was pretty good for a torch. Almost got it just right. 40 by 20. Light animation. That's always the fun one. Let's go ahead and get a color in here. I don't care about the color right now. I just need it so I can see the animations because there are some really cool new animations brought to us with this. So, and I'm dealing with Foundry version 10. So, really intrigued to see what all's new. I mean, the torch, nothing too new with that. I mean, it is what it is. I wish as I go up on the... Oh, there we go. Just keep moving up. Just trying to see if we can find a good light other than the torch. Obviously no rainbows. Light dome, hex dome, ghostly light, force grid. Now flickering light, that would be a good one for like a window pane. Energy field, chroma, black hole map. So we're going back down to the torch. Yeah, coloration, it needs to be more of a yellowish bronze. Oof. But see how it plays off of the map? Don't really care for that yellow. Yeah, it's not going to show me unless I say, yeah, let's use that. Now, I want to be consistent, so I want to be able to find a good yellow that I like. And just stick with it. Now, maybe I go more of an orange. See how that looks. That doesn't look too bad. We're getting closer. There are definitely... You know what? That doesn't look too terrible. For a torch, not bad at all. Alright, let's update this one. Let's just create a template. We'll just name it torch. Update that. I don't know why they do this, but... Alright. Constrained by walls, yes. Adaptive. Alright, so this is what the legacy light was. Ooh, wow. That's adaptive. I like... They made... It's amazing to see what version 9 was versus 10. That is a crazy difference. Now, all these other ones are also new. Internal halo, external halo, color burn, internal, external, low absorption. Don't see what that does. Invert natural light. Adaptive luminance versus natural light. I think I'm gonna go natural. Now, how luminous is it? Ooh. Oh, yeah, this is how you make those black holes. That's right. So that's absorbing light. That's cool. Standard is a 0.5. Okay. Well, let's just leave it at 0.5 then. Transition between light and dark. Yeah. With Curse Strut, we're going to make this very strong. So 1. Saturation. Oh yeah, because this affects the grayscale of it all. So low saturation is what we're looking for. Contrast. Oh, that's cool. That's how I think I did the shadows for... Oh, no, here's the shadows. Nah, I'd have to go the other way. Priority. Interesting. Alright, we're gonna update the light source. And create template. We're gonna call this a torch. Delete. Alright, let's see what we can do to... Yeah, see, that doesn't want to clear up, so we're gonna have to refresh the page and see what it does. Again, back at the main map, this is what the players are going to get when they get a map, if they get a map, for the map of Barovia. And I'm going to go ahead and let them have free reign over what this will look like for them. Whether that means they put notes, they scribble doodads on it, and hopefully it's not explicit or not things that would get the stream in trouble. So, but just drawing around. Interesting that like at some point, yeah, you can see some of these lines adjust to be curvy. That's interesting. Alright, let's head back down into those maps with Slavik Road. Now, my plan for the light is it's off. Unless it's on. And then it being on, is that really a good thing? Now, which one am I dealing with? Alright, I think this is the one. Yes, this is the one I was after. Alright. So something's going on with my lights. But delete that one. And delete that one. And I guess we're refreshing the page again. This is kind of an annoying bug. So we're going to take a note and my template bug. If any of you ever use Foundry, there's a great community on Discord for Foundry. A lot of discussions of modules and help, and it's very healthy. I know some communities boast that they're healthy and then are rather toxic, where they down talk people and degrade people. I've had none of that experience with Foundry. It has been very uplifting and encouraging, which has been a huge reason why I've gone away from online video games entirely and just exclusively am doing D&D, and because it's cooperative story building instead of that competitive. The annoying thing about competitive games for me was when competitive games would have the teams being competitive within themselves against each other. So that's why I don't play online games anymore. It is, in my opinion, not healthy. So let's go ahead and see what we can find for getting this map put together. Well, we got the light, we're good there. I'll wall it up later. Let's get what more maps on here, shall we? Um, throw these into the random encounter map section. And really, how quickly do I need these? Probably when I do random encounters. So, no time soon. Because that's not a priority right now. Ooh, this is a fun one. No. Yeah, I'll call it what it is. But I will also change the navigation name. Alright, so for me it says what it is, but the players have no clue what it is because it says Crumbled Tower. I don't want my players to know what it is. So here we go. Random encounters. And we are looking at the Will-O-Wisp encounter. Now, this is one of the random encounters that you can encounter with um, within the world. And that is the Will-O-Wisp who tries to lead the party off to a trap. So let me go ahead and do this real quick. That way we can get it centered, lined, and then so we can move around. Alright, so Will-O-Wisp will lead them around and up to this tower where there is a chest inside. This is all an elaborate trap designed to lure in the party. How much of a trap do you want to make it? Well, that is up to you. Personally, I think it's fun to make it worthwhile. So, whatever level they are at, maybe try to have a worthwhile mimic for the chest. Alright. So, yep, it is a ruined tower atop a hill within the Misty Woods. Your players enter from the northern trail and follow the lights up to the tower, where they will find an old decrepit chest. And let's face it, we all know our players cannot. Well, it says reset, but resist. A chest in the middle of the woods, right? DM Andy is so correct there. A free chest to loot? Oh, baby. Gotta have that. So, one thing I'm gonna do is put that there's a north. I'm putting an N so I know there's north entrance. What I will also do is I'm going to go into my folder that holds my maps, and I'm going to copy that and make three other copies. I'm going to rotate one to the right, one to the left, and rotate the other one twice to the right. Now I can have it so I have a north, east, south, and west entrance into this area. And honestly, I might even just throw this map against my players as they currently are at level 11 in Count Strahd. But Sean, the module goes to level 10. I am using the milestone experience points from oof, forgot what was it? It was from the DM's Guild. Let's pull that up real quick. So, structured milestone experience points for Curse of Strahd by our Padrone. He has a great breakdown of how this works. It is very useful, and it breaks the reliance on milestones, and it makes it much more sandboxy, as what the players do affects how they level up, instead of saying you have to hit these milestones. Now, yes, it is still milestones, but it's not the regiment of, well, if you go do something else, it's not going to matter. And it really encourages that exploration aspect. I know there are a few things I've adjusted on it myself, and it's not hard to adjust. Uh, in fact, I've taken the inspiration from his milestone XP and am using it for the White Queen as well. And so far, that group is shaping up to look like a very fun group. There are still more individuals available or more slots available to join that, and so please feel free to reach out. So here we go. Walling this won't be too hard. I know most people complain about circles being an issue. Um, DF curvy walls all the way. Just put down your circle. Oh, you not wanting? No, there we go. Now you see there's an opening here. Well, I can confirm the wall and then move the wall. I'd rather not. Let's see here. Need to make it a little bigger. Alright, here we go. That's pretty close. But I don't like how it sticks out so much. There we go. That's better. Now all I have to do is delete the one wall. There you go. My circle's done. A lot easier. Now, I'll still have other things to do. I've got to put in terrain walls and tree walls. Though they're not going to be as much of importance for this map like it would be for the other random encounters, because the goal is not to get them out there into the wilderness as it is to get up to this tower up high. One thing I think I'm going to really like to do here is I'm going to go ahead and advanced options and start creating some shadows. Just make it a little darker, more ominous. Update the light source. I'm actually going to copy this light source. And from within the trees, I definitely want to make it bigger. Let's go ahead and let's see what 100 looks like. 100's a bit much. Let's go ahead and back it down to 75. We're going to go 60. That's what I'm really after. We're not even going to go 60. We're going to go here, we're going to go 50. Update, yeah, how'd I know? We're going to go there, going to go here. Nah. I do like it here on the tower. Makes it good and dark and gloomy. Alright. So, that's what I'm going to be doing with the will-o-wisp encounters. Those should be nice and fun. Keep it entertaining. It kind of gets boring if you have the same encounter, or the encounter be consistently same, and yeah, that's just ugh. Now, let's go ahead and Misty Forest. We're going to have a few Misty Forest maps. Same map, again, different orientations. Right, left, and a full 360. So, it's interesting. But yep. Actually, if you look at this and compare it to the Misty Forest Road, you can see where the road was. And this is clever work by Diamandi, just reusing assets already made. So, I will have to be careful not to use the Misty Forest maps too much, just to keep from the repetitiveness. So, it may end up being that I find a few other maps to add to this party of what I have. Alright, let's see what we got. Now, this is where I've... Alright, so it did save everything. Very nice. Oh, configuration. Is this a 30 by... It is. Okay, so no issues. The roads are 2026. Very interesting that those are smaller. Oh. Let's see here. Well, these are, again, a rather straightforward and easy to do map. No need to really stick to doing that. Let's go ahead and head over to the River Ivlis Crossroads. Now he's got two variants on this. He's got a few variants. He's got one with and one without fog. Um, Seeing as how I can do fog, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it without fog. That way I can have a rolling fog instead of just a stagnant. Uh, Crossroads. We're going to go. There we go. Let's see here. This is very nice. Now, the River Ivlis Crossroads, that is in between the Tisser Pools and the village of Barovia. Where you have your um, hangman's noose and the little graveyard where there's a path to the Vistani camp at the pools, or you can take the other route, which would take you around and avoiding the Vistani. Eventually, you'll make it back to the Tesser Falls and beyond. Or if you're heading to the village of Barovia, up in here. If I was to make it video gamey, I would definitely do something where um, your choice would take you to like the next map. Uh, and actually, that wouldn't be too terrible of an idea, where it would teleport the players to whatever the next map would be. Whether that is a Theater of the Mind map, which I like to use those as well for the players. Um, though for when I do that in my campaign, it'll take us to what looks like a table where it's just the chat log, and it's just us talking around the chat log. But my players get to see some art, kind of showing the kind of environment we're dealing with. So here we go. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. or if there's anything special to this map that we should change. We'll do that. Take off that and save changes. Because this is a very beautiful map. I don't know if there's anything I need to do right now. I mean, there's walls, but we've covered that in enough detail. I'm not too worried about covering that anymore. Let's see what else we got. We got the Will-O-Wisp. DM Andy made a map for an adventure that another group has done with a White Claws layer. Not too sure how that fits in. It looks like an interesting map. Let's just, well, we can call it what it is, but we'll change it. White Claw layer. Exterior. This is gonna need a name, but I don't know what to name it just yet. So let's head over, let's take a look at it. View scene. Oh, that's right. We are going to, uh, oh, I can't, wait, it's a logger's mill. That's what it is. Now, one thing I am looking at doing, and Bailey Wiki does this, is he has it so that the roof is an asset, and when the characters are close enough, so within 5 to 10 feet, the roof goes away and you can see the inside. And there is a inside map, so like an interior map. There we go, save changes. And so I would just have it be the interior map with the roof on top until they got within range to where they could see inside. Now, supposedly there's a White Claw that lives here, according to, oh, not at the mill, but here at this cave. So configure, and again, like, let's see here. See the change? Yep, we see the change. So again, it would just take this area, make it an asset, and have it covering the interior map. Same with the roof. That way you're not flipping scenes or having to teleport them, but instead are just same scene. Now you see me, now you don't kind of situation. But this is a very cool map, and I think it could be of very good use. Especially for kind of a side quest to help buffer levels or even to use for extended content, which I do plan on doing. So I think that's all I've got for the random encounters, which even still, that is a lot. Um, Technically, map of Barovia should be in here, but because of how much the map of Barovia is used, I like to have it out at the front. So let's see here. Got about another hour of working on stuff. Let's go ahead and go into Well, I know that technically we should go into chapter 3. And that wouldn't be too bad. But my thinking, well, I mean, the village of Barovia would be good. My thinking is go in order of what the players should expect to come across. Um, so that would be chapter 3, the village of Barovia. My other thing is since I'm switching over to using DM Andy's maps almost exclusively, the exception being random encounter maps, um, I also need to remake the Death House. But I'm going to do something different. So let's go ahead and let's create our new folder. Chapter 3. The village of Barovia. And we're going to create another folder. Appendix B. Death House. And let's create Death House. What do we want to go with? Let's see here. We'll go with the house. And we'll do floors 1 through 4. So, no longer in random encounters, we are going to go into the village of Barovia. Death House. Now, what's interesting is you have floors 1 through 4, regular, and then we have floors 1 through 4, escape. I'll show you the regular first. So, let's head on over and take a look. And let's go ahead and do some configurations, shall we? Vertical fit. There. And let's get some color to the sides. Oof, that's too rich. There we go. Even still, I feel like that's too rich of a brown. Makes me think of chocolate. There we go. Let's just go with that. Right there, lock view, change those, grid. Now, it says it's a 20 by 30 map. Very interesting. Save changes. Yep. No, looks very good for walling and all that. Let's see here. I just want to be able to see the walls, or the grid, real quick. This is one of my defaults, red, because what stands out best is red for me. This actually makes it very nice and easy to see that this is lined up really nicely. My only complaint is these two walls right here. So we're going to 0, 0 there, go to 0.25, and we're good there. I don't mind having grid down for my players, just so it's very faint. But actually what I'm going to end up doing, yeah, I'll stick with grid if I can. There's a few adventures where it's like, hey, we have a grid, and then they have it lined up so terribly that it doesn't work out good. Where for you to be within the grid, you would be splitting the lines. So, example of that would be like Dragonvice Spire Peak Dwarven Excavation mission. But I'm not running that right now, so I'm not worried about that right now. Now, last week I went ahead and did the Village of Barovia, Death House, and it was a complete map where pretty much I was done with this. But like I said, I'm going over to DM Andy maps. So I want to see if we can go ahead and take this. Oh, I guess I have to be on the select tool. Take it, copy all these walls. 328 walls. Let's head back over to the house. Now, as you can see, those walls are too big. What a shame. Well, I guess we're re-walling. So, first things first, we're going to need a divider. Don't need a circle though. Divider wall, right down the middle. This is a time when I actually encourage a little excess, because you really do not want them seeing the other side. Well, depends on what other side is. Um, it is Death House after all. Now, one thing like right here, normally I would do a wall and then keep going. And actually I will, but the issue with doing a wall like that, is now your players, for them to cross over into these other squares, they have to move in at a diagonal. So we'll go through and we'll make those ethereal walls later. But long walls, let's go ahead and just plop them down with good old standard walls. And I'm just doing all of them in the same wall type, that I have a majority of that wall. Ooh, sorry about the loud music there. Let me get this wall done, and I will correct that right away. But like I said, that northern wall, or the top wall, I did not care for how it was set up because of the did not care for how it was set up because of how the grid lined up. Because the grid is down here, which puts the wall pretty forward. And so I don't care for that too much. So, ethereal walls here. We're going to go movement restriction none. Update. Now, what I also like to do is I'm going to take this wall right here. It is going to be a door, but it is that portcullis that they can move through, or that they can open and move through. But I'm going to extend my door all the way through, almost to where it's completely closed off. Actually, I could. It just makes getting to some of these assets a little more difficult, because like if I want that wall right now I have to go through the selector tool, and even then I have to see. Nope, not a wall. None. Normal. 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 See? Yeah, just see. This is tricky. There we go. Just go there. And windows. Window, 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 and window. Light, none. Sight, none. Update. There we go. Now, I wish that I could change the image for a door. So, like, the curtain rods. Great time to do a door. Why? Because then the players can open and close them. So, if you know of a module that sets it up so that they have uh, curtains or something like a curtain instead, I would love that. In fact, let's go ahead and take a quick look. I'm going to take a quick look at the Forge. The Forge is where I go ahead and host all of my games. I also set it up so I have a camera account so I can stream my games live as well as record them. Um, Streaming games to Twitch, starting with Curse of Strahd on January 3rd and the White Queen on January 5th. So, let's see here. Curtain. Let's see what they've got. Curtain animations. Nope, not what I'm after. Let's see if they have something for icons. There's a lot of things for icons. Don't know if they're what I'm after though. And besides, I don't know if they're going to have what I'm looking for. So, uh, alright. Dang. Alright. Not finding anything for changing, like, the door icon to a curtain. That would be another really cool module. Now, to finish off walling this, I'm actually just going to do a quick and dirty job because it doesn't really require too much. Again, I'm doing an ethereal wall right here, but I'm going to go ahead and I'll do a door to there, to there. And then you can see that a lot of these walls are actually going to be needing some ethereal wall. Doorways are going to need ethereals, which is quite interesting in my opinion. I guess we aren't going there, ain't we? Alright. There we go. And door. doors. Let's finish this off. And I'm just going to do this section. I'm not going to do all 4 floors right now. I can do that on my own time. No need to drag you guys through it. So, there we go. And here we are. One more wall right here. That's the top half of this place. Yeah, let's get back to walling. We'll just do it like this. Like I said, quick and dirty. Alright, yeah, that grid is sometimes hard to tell. Especially when an artist has lined up the seams of like planks in the right spot, like is the case here. Those are all going to be doors. And then we're going to drop in some ethereal walls. Right there. There. Part of the reason why I like adding these ethereal walls is it still keeps the door icon in the middle of the door. Well, in the middle of where the door is placed. So like up here, I'm going to want to take this door and actually move it further in. And that's the nice thing about having the left and right, is I can see where the middle is. Now then, this one, move it just a touch. This is the one that's going to be tougher because like right there is the middle. I don't want to go and block off that door. So instead, normally I would go right here. That should still block it off well enough so that they don't trespass too easily. This one, it's going along a wall, so I don't care. Go right there. This one is a problem. As I go too far one way, I lose it. Curtains don't matter. And there we go. Walls are lined up. Windows are done. I can add a little bit of a ledge edging with the fireplace frames. I just drop that in. And maybe pop it out a little more. There we go. Don't need too much. But there we go. Copy that. I can go boop. Copy, paste. I'll just plop it in right there as well. Though at this point I also want to make sure movement is not restricted on those. I mean, really, they shouldn't be moving through a fireplace, but also, it's just a little bump out. I don't think it's really going to affect too much. So, dining room table, they're obviously not going to be crossing over, so let's go ahead and put an invisible wall right down the middle here. Don't need a square. There we go. And there we go. First floor. Oh, no, not quite. We got this little circle here that we're going to deal with. So let's go ahead and let's deal with it. There we go. And then we don't need so many. And really, this is more than enough. Is that right there. So we're going to go good. Get rid of that. We're going to do an invisible there. But really, we're going to go right here. Well, let's see. That's the perfect spot. Because what I'm going to do in the end is I am going to take and put teleporters using Monk's active tiles, as well as JB2A's assets. So let's go ahead, let's just do that right now. We're going to go open here, we're going to go core data, nope, users, because that's what we're doing, modules, I forgot. We're on my computer, not on the online server, so JB. Now we gotta get rid of the search. That's one thing I don't really care for with how the search function works in here. I'd rather be on the main thing, and just like with Windows File Explorer, uh, be in my data folder and just type um, something like up and get all the everything that mentions up. So I've got the modules times up, hurry up, and then there's packages that or modules that have up in their folder naming convention, class 1 upper, uplifter pack, rusty old freight trains, up close, upper floors, upper levels. There's files that talk about updates. But what I'm really actually looking for is something that is a up arrow. I'm not getting that. Let's see if there's anything that says point. Well, I'm not getting that. So we're going to go ahead and do it the old fashioned hard way. Let's see what we have here. I know JB2A has some stuff under his library. Generic. I think it was under markers. Oh boy. Nope, doesn't look like it. Particles, portals. Let's check out portals. Yeah, I didn't think so. User interface? Maybe? Yeah, there we go. So what I was using... Oh, see, this one I haven't even come to my attention. Was this up arrow. Which, that's a pretty big asset as it is normally. But that's because he has it set for 200 by 200. That's fine. But like, I'm gonna copy that, paste it here, rotate it so it's pointing down, paste it here so it's pointing up. Let's see here. Paste it there, rotate so it's pointing down, paste it there so it's pointing up, paste it here so it's facing down, and down. Okay. Now, my only issue is like, I want to change the colors. But I don't know how to do that. I'm not sure how to do the animations. That is one skill I do plan on learning, because I would love to do my own assets and make it so I have arrows that work out or that look correct to the setting. Because these kind of remind me of sci-fi, cyberpunk, those kind of things. that doesn't really work well for me for Curse of Strahd. Now, these are JB2A's free assets, so uh, he may have some that are part of his Patreon. In fact, let's go ahead and open up the modules. Let's take a look at JB2A. Let's see what we got. Helps if you do it right. I know some of you might go, why are you using this browser or that? It's what I've liked. Oh wow, he is doing a good job. 4,000 Patreons and is making about 9,000 a month. That is well done. Jules and Ben's friends, very good. Good job on your guys' parts. Um, let's see what his free post mentions or covers. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the playlist. And let's take a look here. I think he's just showing off some of the assets. Alright. Well, that didn't help as much as I had hoped. Alright, euros per release. So, European group, very cool. But yep, something I'll explore further on later on. So, let's see what we can do for the rest of this. And like you saw, I don't have the module activated, but I do have access to the assets because they are downloaded. So, active effects, triggers, actions. Anyone who enters this tile will teleport. Coordinates to there. Snap to grid. And avoid other tokens at destination. That way it doesn't cause other people to teleport. Now, we have that. There we go. So, we're going to drag out a medium-sized creature, not a large. Graves. Oh, well, I guess we gotta finish updating the title. Oh, that didn't work. Well, let's leave him down. And didn't stick. Teleport to there. Update, update. Alright, now, there we go. Teleportation worked perfectly normal. Patreon DM Andy, and I am happy with that. Now, let's go ahead, we can get rid of the ooze now. I'm going to place an image down from user data. And it is going to come from, let's see here, scenes, DM Andy, Village of Barovia. We are looking for this right here. What did they say this was? 20 by 30, if I'm not mistaken. Update tile. Now here is the issue. It is going to lay over top. And also, I need it to be the very bottom of the group. Reason being is this right here. How awesome is that? That is so cool. Alright. Because now, what I'm going to have happen is when they go through one of the portals for uh, the basement, where they go to the lowest chamber, they will then trigger this tile to appear over top the um, current floors 1 through 4. Now, do need to make sure to also add another up right here. This one also needs to be invisible because there's a hidden trapdoor right there. Now, all my tiles can be locked because they do not need to move. I mean, besides the bouncing up and down. So, with that, it would just at this point be going through, finishing up the walling, and letting it be what it'll be. Now, the reason why I have all these modules that are, you know, extra is because, or all these art pieces, because they are going to be used for different expansions found on the DM's Guild. This one has quite a bit of talk about it, and it's the Escape from Death House. Now, it is in the book, but it doesn't really discuss it very well. In the sense that it can be done several different ways. Primarily how it's done is you just run through it and try to survive. One thing I like that a few people have mentioned and have explained is the skill challenge. And so that is what I'm going to be trying to see, or trying to run again, because when I ran it the first time it went really well. Oh, hi Journal Trimachanga. I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in. Uh, no, I am not building it from scratch. I am walling it up though. These are maps and assets from other content creators. Map is from DM Andy on Patreon. Uh, the assets for the floating up arrows, those are assets from JB2A's animations. This is the free content that I'm using, both of which have paid levels, and am working on getting this ready for a campaign starting in January. So, but yeah, definitely thank you for the follow. Definitely appreciate it. let's see here. Kind of done with getting this one set up. Let's go ahead and get the next map set up, and that is going to be the basement. Go ahead and pull this one in. Let's grab the basement. And going to do a few quick configurations, as always. I'm going to grab one thing off of here. And let's view the basement. As we can see, this is quite a bit different because it's so long. So, first things first, let's go ahead and grab some of that dark brown. Now, the vertical fit, zoomed out this far, is a bit disorienting, but it's not too bad. So, here we go. Let's get this configured correctly first off, because nothing like having a bad orientation or bad configuration. So again, DM Andy does a great job of all of his maps, because when you export them, it tells you what the grid or how many tiles wide and tall it is. This is a 22 by 42. 22 by 42. Save changes, and there we go. And then let's configure it. Give this some red grid so we can see that this lines up excellently, just as it should. And there we go. Now it'll require a little bit of the changes to be made, or added. So like, let me go ahead. Let's find JB again. There we are. Library, generic, user interface. We want the single up arrow. That's going to be a down. That's going to be an up. And that's going to be an up. Even though up and down are on the wrong ends. Alright. Now, what I do want to do is I want to go ahead and select this tile. Triggers. Actions. Obviously, it's going to be moving to that one. Nope. Nope. We need to do the teleport. That teleports it to there. Oh gosh. Alright, that kind of got screwy. Let's do this again. Teleport. Current tokens. To there. Alright. There we go. Update. Now, we're also going to add another action, which is going to should have, there we go, show hide. We're going to go back to the house. We're going to show. Oh, that only does it for that one. What about toggle? Mm, Alright, I will have to figure out how to make that work. And not have to manually do it. Well, that's a little disappointing, but hey, we can figure it out later on. So, so Monk's active tiles, um, very interesting module. Has a lot of capabilities, and so I definitely want to say or see how I can work that into everything. So, well, I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to call it a night. Uh, there's a lot of things that are very cool with Curse of Strahd and that you can do. Um, the module itself is amazing to run. I've been running it for about 15 months now with an active group. It's been a lot of fun. I'm getting ready to start new campaigns in January. Curse of Strahd starting on January 3rd with Session 0, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the White Queen, a homebrew campaign where a group of adventurers are going to be traveling throughout the Silkmoor Kingdom, trying to gain favor within the kingdom and um, earn their own prestige as well as helping out the kingdom or possibly even saving it, depending on what happens and the choices that are made. Um, till then, I'll catch anyone who follows around.